New Steel Division game. This time Steel Division Normandy 44, a Steel Division League cast. There is a Steel Division League still going on for Normandy 44, and we're going to be covering it today. We have Theoman222 on the left hand side in blue. He is up against Charlemagne. Charlemagne? I think it's Charlemagne. On the right hand side in red. Theoman222, he's playing the Demi Brigade SAS. Charlemagne, he is playing the 9th Panzer. So, interesting matchup between these two players. I'm really excited to be covering Charlemagne as well, because I used to play with him a little bit in Steel Division Normandy. I don't think he has made the transition to Steel Division 2. But yeah, I'm excited to cover him in a tournament game. So let's have a look at Theoman222's deck. He is a very good Steel Division Normandy player. Demi Brigade SAS, their income is pretty much all C phase. So 80 points of income in A phase, 90 points in B phase, and 150 points in C phase. So this is a late game income deck. The early game, it's a case of using your income as best you can and kind of trying to hold on as best you can and put yourself in the best position for the late game. In terms of Theoman's deck, most of his, well, it's an interesting balance. So we have the I thought the Demi Brigade, yes, there it is, the Jagdpanzer 4 in the anti-tank tab. That's the big early threat that Theoman222 can bring out, and that Jagdpanzer in A phase is going to be pretty difficult to penetrate, that 14 armor. So that's going to be his big threat, and I expect to see that out early, or as soon as he can get it out, really. It's the main threat to be used. But then I guess the map that we're playing, I can't remember the name of the map, but it is a fairly close quarters, more of an infantry based map, so I suppose that Jagdpanzer can't be used to its absolute best at long range. There are a lot of aircraft here. I mean, in terms of early on, the Spitfires and the Tempests, they're really good fighter aircraft. And then we transition into the P-47 Thunderbolts, a lot of American equipment later on, a lot of tanks, M4A3s, M4A3 75, 76 versions. So it's all about, you know, Theoman using his early light infantry and maybe that Jagdpanzer, trying to hold on until C phase. So let's have a look at Charlemagne's deck. He is on the right hand side in red, playing the 9th Panzer. In terms of their income, they're only 5 points more in A phase, but in B phase they really ramp up, and Charlemagne will have 35 points a minute more in B phase than Theoman222. So B phase is the phase he needs to get the job done. C phase, he has 125 points of income, which is 25 points less than Theoman. So he really needs to get the job done in B phase and really kind of try and hang on in C phase. So the game is underway. We've barely had a chance to look at Theoman's deck, Charlemagne's deck. So we'll just pause the action while we have a quick look and then join the game again. So the big tanks in this 9th Panzer deck, there is one 2-star Tiger in C phase, and that's kind of it from the looks of it in terms of big heavy tanks. I mean, we flagged out the Jagdpanzer in A phase. The Marder 3M could be used to penetrate that Jagdpanzer, but other than that, there's not really a lot here that can penetrate that Jagdpanzer in A phase, certainly. I think in B phase we then get some more Marders coming in. We get the Stug F8s, and that can mostly, you know, do the job. The Flak 4188 as well. So I think we'll see how things go. In terms of infantry fight, the Demi Brigade SAS, I think, gets some really good infantry. So it's going to be hard for Charlemagne in the infantry battle. I think he's going to have to use his mortar half-track and his Hummel as best as he can. And he definitely doesn't want to lose the air fight as well, because Theoman has a lot of bombers. But I think there's enough fighters there from Charlemagne, and he has some reasonable anti-air units. So we'll have to see how that goes. Right, let's kick off into the game. Theoman on the left-hand side in blue, playing the Demi Brigade SAS. All of the units as well in this Demi Brigade can use the quick transports, which is something that the 9th Panzer don't have access to. Charlemagne on the right-hand side in red, playing the 9th Panzer, but just pick up an early +1 lead. We have some FFI partisans getting into position. Ooh, I think this is Odon River, actually, if I remember the name of this map right now. So Charlemagne, he been able to get across the bridge in the southern side, and I think he's going to need to capitalise on that, because getting up across the bridges on this river map is particularly different. Back across the northern side, Theoman looks like he's got enough units up here to really hold on to this northern position. The Stern Pioneers are pinned down. We have an SDKFZ 251/17, which I think is an anti-air unit. Up here providing fire support. Down go the FFI partisans. But yeah, there is a Panhard here that could actually get used to take out that air unit if Theoman gets chance. Down on the southern side, well, this bridgehead is very loose right now. Charlemagne, I think, really needs to concentrate on this southern bridgehead, but on the other hand, on the north, he is making good progress as well. So he needs to decide, is he going to go north or is he going to go south? I mean, the advantage with him going south is he is actually over the river right now, whereas in the north, he isn't. We've got the Char B1 just making its way down the central road, but I think Theoman is just going to want to hold the river as much as possible and go from there onwards. Charlemagne is still pushing forwards in this northern position. The Stern Pioneers get into the building and immediately start wrecking face with that flamethrower. Pin down and surrender the, I think there were the recon troops that are in there. The FFI rallies are having to fall back. The Panhard, I think, is the last hope. But there are Panzerfaust in here. They're just a little bit too far back to claim that Panhard. Charlemagne, as yet, hasn't brought any reinforcements in, so I'm kind of surprised by that. Maybe he's saving up points, or maybe he's just doing a hell of a lot of income. Oh, here comes an early Focke-Wulf 190A8. Oh, to try and strafe down that Panhard. Will he get the kill? Oh, highly stressed, but does not get the kill. I mean, that is a closed-top vehicle, so the fighter will struggle to more so than a half-track or an open-top vehicle. Wow, look at these rallies. They're trying to escape behind enemy lines. They're falling back behind enemy lines. Another strafing run onto that Panhard. And we have got a reinforcing FFI H35 coming up. This thing does have a 1,000-meter range, can take out the SDKFZ 251/17 if Charlemagne isn't careful. But at the moment, I do like his approach. Although on the southern side, he does look fairly weak. He hasn't invested there. Looks like he is investing into the middle, as Theoman does kind of make a push here in the middle, where Charlemagne is pretty unopposed. The Panzergrenz are falling back. There's not much in here to stop the rallies and the other infantry units crossing the river on foot. We do have a Marder 3 now into this central area. I think that's to kind of take on the Char B1. All the FFI rallies somehow survive and the Stern Pioneers get taken out there in the northern side. That is a big loss for Charlemagne. Again, the Panzergrenz are pinned down. And we have a Panzer 1C coming into the northern centre. Oh, in comes a Spitfire Mark 9. Does drop onto the Panzer II Lux. Doesn't get the kill though. Doesn't get the kill at this stage. I mean, that Panzer II Lux should deal a lot of damage. Although, I'm not quite sure by that movement there. I kind of think that positioning was pretty good. I'm not quite sure what's happening there. Because surely it should show us the orders that that Panzer II Lux is taking. Oh, the Panzergrenz are pinned down. Oh, and they do surrender. That is a big shame for Charlemagne. He does bring in another unit of Panzergrenz, but that Panzer II Lux has to... Oh, this could be a big battle here. The rallies have the Faust... I think it's the Faust Baton, yeah, 150 meter range. Charlemagne has to be careful. He is retreating with his Panzer II Lux. Oh, especially if the Partisan were moving up there as well. They have the 150 meter range on the Panzerfaust. That Panzer II Lux is not in a great position though, because if those Partisans just continue to move up the hedgerow there, that Panzer II Lux has to be in trouble. Oh, on the southern side, look where that FFI rallies have managed to get. Will they ambush the Panzer IIC? They missed the first shot. Will they be able to get a second shot in time? I don't think they will. They don't. They are spotted and they are starting to be fired upon. But we have the H-35 pushing forwards the Panhard as well. And this BF Panzer IIC is in trouble. Driver wounded. Oof, that has to go down now, surely. It is just hanging on. I think that, yeah, the Panhard does now take it out. And the FFI recon troops are heading over the river here. Theoman's doing a good job of tidying up that northern side. The centre area has been held back for now. And the the Panzer 1C is doing a decent job of holding off the infantry there. More reinforcements up into the northern side. And remember, actually, in A phase, the income advantage, Charlemagne had 5 more points of income, so it's pretty even, which does allow Theoman to pick up the surrender there. He does pick up the surrender there. It does allow him to be relatively safe. I mean, he's traded fairly well. I think the 9th Panzer units are more costly in A phase. So Theoman has been able to bring out a lot of cheaper units. And he's traded fairly effectively up to now. He's definitely got himself into a decent position. He's crossed the river in the north, which is a big, big win for Theoman. But we are heading into B phase in just over 1 minute's time. And Charlemagne will have the big infantry advantage in B phase. We do have a Panzer 1C just manoeuvring around towards the northern position. May well look for a big flank here, actually. That would be an interesting engagement. The Panzer 1C on the southern side engaging the SDKZ 251/1 surely will pick up the kill there. Finally, I'm surprised that took so long. We have a Pak 38 coming in here. Oh, which actually... Hopefully, I think that will be okay. He's going to have to take on the Panhard first. Misses the first shot. The Panhard starts replying. Theoman pulls that one back. Will he get the second shot? No, does not get the second shot. Oh, we do have an FFI rallies just waiting for that Panzer 1C to push forwards. This is very close, but the Panzer 1C down here in the forest is using excellent control. Oh, I think he spotted that FFI rallies and does now start to engage. Does pick up the kill on that FFI rallies. Looks like the Panzerschreck unit did go down in the southern side to the Panzergrenz. And in the centre, the Marder 3 is still in place. We do have a Pak 38, but that one goes down. And there's a couple of Panzergrens here. Ooh, forwards comes the Spitfire Mark 9, but there is an SDK of said 251/17. Does hit the Panzergrens on the southern side. The Focke-Wulf 190 will chase, but I think it's too slow. Yeah, Charlemagne calls that one back. We have more reinforcements coming into this central and southern area. I think if Charlemagne can contain and push back in the north, he definitely has an opportunity here. The Panzer II Lux pushing forwards. There is a lot of criticals onto this FFI H35. Will he be able to get the kill though? This is the scary thing right now. It's taken a long time to get this kill. The penetration chances have got to be incredibly low. Yeah, finally get the kill just through weight of fire alone, I think. The Stern Pioneers are pushing through the forest. The Panzer 1C is pushing up, the Panzer II Lux and the Southern Panzer 1C as well. There is an FFI Rallies and a Jedburgh here that do have 80 equipment on them. I'd like to see that Stern Pioneer push forwards. I guess he doesn't know what's on the other side of that forest. It's all about getting through those units. A Panzergren moving up here, I think, and that will be a good choice. Oh, is he going to engage with that FFI Rallies? Oh, he's engaging the Pak 3850. I thought he might have had the opportunity to use the Faust Patron, but no. And the Panzer II Lux and the Panzer 1C start engaging, and that FFI Rallies is toast. So Theoman bringing a lot of reinforcements up into the northern side. His initial forces have gone down. But the southern side, it looks like Theoman's done okay for now, and Charlemagne bringing in more reinforcements. The Panzer 1C is completely depleted on its 20mm gun. Does have machine gun ammunition left though. In the centre area, just one Panzergren remains. Does take out a unit. I think that was probably FFI Rallies, but there is a recon unit kind of behind enemy lines here, so Theoman will be pretty pleased he's got that in there. The FFI Rallies moving forwards as well. In comes the Spitfire Mark 9 to target the Panzergrens. Should get a decent hit here. Yes, pinned down. Will he move forwards for a surrender? Focke-Wulf 190 chases again, but they're just too slow. I think Charlemagne would be better off keeping it up on like a combat air patrol. At least having it closer to the front, so as soon as one of those Spitfires comes in, he can immediately reply. And actually, because he's called that back, that's given the opportunity for Theoman to bring in another Spitfire Mark 9, this time targeting the Pioneers on the northern side. Oh, there is a Pak 38 that's got there in time. Does shoot down the Panzer 1C in that central area. The Panzer II Lux has gone down as well. May well have been to that FFI Pak 38. And again, now it's Charlemagne's turn to be kind of under strength up in this northern side. Back and forth so far. This is quite tight, but I think Theoman will be pretty happy with his position, holding kind of a 50-50 up until phase C will be his will be his objective. Phase C is the point where he really pushes on in terms of income. And I think Theoman will be happy at this stage. Oh, we've got an FFI Rallies very close. Yeah, gets the Panzerfaust shot off and does destroy. I think that was an AA unit. The SDK said there. The Panzergrens, are they going to move northwards now? I'm not sure they are, but we've got Pioneers moving south. We've got Panzergrens crossing the river there, encountering the FFI Saboteurs. Should be able to get the kill against that 4-strength unit. As long as they don't get into the range of that TNT, they should be okay. Charlemagne needs to stop that unit immediately, because that is going to get into range of that TNT any moment. Yeah, it is now in range. Oof, this could be a big loss here. Full-strength squad of Panzergrens. Yes, Charlemagne should have had that on an attack move command. That was a big shame there. Big shame to lose that unit. In comes a Panzer IV-H into the top side. I think if this FFI Pak 38 goes down, he'll still be in a decent position, because he does have the Panzer 1C up there. But it's important to take out that FFI Pack 38. I think he could use a mortar truck. Oh, we have got the Focke-Wulf this time. Did make it in time. I don't know whether he was already out onto the field, but he did shoot down the Spitfire Mark 9. I think Charlemagne could do with a mortar up on this top side. There's a lot of light vehicles, a lot of light infantry units. Definitely the mortar could engage. In fact, all across the battlefield right now, the mortars could do with a fantastic job. And I think Charlemagne's kind of missed a trick there, not using his mortar half-tracks early on in this game, because Demi-Brigade SAS, they rely on a lot of light units early on, a lot of infantry, a lot of, you know, light vehicles. Basically, things that a mortar will be fantastic at countering. It's not until Phase B that we've seen this Panzer IV-H come out. There was the Char B1 that seems to have gone down, I think, to the Marder 3M. Oh, the Panzer IV-H does get the kill there on the Panzer 1C. Yeah, and Charlemagne now has to be very worried about that Panzer IV-H. Need something that can get rid of that. We do see a mortar now onto the northern side. That is the right call. The big threat really, bad camera work there, I apologise. The big threat really is this Pack 38. It is repositioning. Oh, it's repositioning to take out this Panzer 1C as well. But yeah, without that Pack 38 there, you know, Charlemagne could use his armoured vehicles, but I think all of his armoured vehicles are about gone down. He's going to struggle from now, I think. Wow, look at all of this equipment coming in to the central and southern area for Theoman. I think he's happy with his northern position now, and he's concentrating on the centre. Here goes the engagement. Critical ammo explosion immediately. That FFI Pack 38 has done a fantastic job up in the northern side of this battlefield. Infantry once again crossing the open. This time it's the SAS Chasseurs Para, and these guys, I think, a pretty decent infantry unit. They do have the smoke on them, and that can be pretty effective. In comes another Spitfire. This time the Flak 3637 is on the field, as well as a couple of half-track AA units. A lot of light infantry come down. The Focke-Wulf does make it. Will he get another kill? Yes, he does. The Focke-Wulf picks up another kill. So Charlemagne hoping that if he takes out enough air units, he will be able to hold on. Very tight game so far. We're going to have to see how Phase C goes. The Tempest now is chasing down the Focke-Wulf, and the Focke-Wulf goes down to the Tempest. Wow, Theoman does pick up the kill there. That Tempest, a very fast aircraft, 675 kilometers per hour. Was able to chase down that Focke-Wulf. I think did have the strafing run attempt to go down onto the Marder, but I think he strayed too far there. Yeah, we'll call that back. I think it will get out, but I'm kind of surprised he went for that strafing run there. SAS Group FM coming in now as well. And these are lighter equipped 6-man squads, 2 Brens, 2 M1s and 2 Sten guns, but they do have the smoke as well. They are fairly cheap units if I remember. Yeah, 15 points apiece. So, like I say, Theoman, he has access to a lot of cheap infantry at this point, which is why the mortars are key. Get those mortars firing as much as possible, and hopefully take down some of this infantry. Charlemagne looks like he's finding it difficult right now. Theoman pushing back, does have the +1, and will get the victory in 21 minutes time if the game continues as it is, and it's only going to get worse for Charlemagne. 1 minute time we go into C phase, and Theoman will get his 150 points of income. This is going to get tough for Charlemagne from this point onwards. Just look at the number of infantry units in this tight little area down here. In comes a P-47 Thunderbolt. Oof, immediately takes down one of the Pioneers. I still think Charlemagne's best bet at the moment is to bring in another mortar half-track. You know, sit it here in this field. It can take down a ton of infantry units right here. Oh, I think Charlemagne... I think the problem is as well, he doesn't really see any of these infantry units up in the northern side. The SAS Chasseurs Parade, they do have the Gammon Bomb. But Charlemagne does turn off the road here. The pack gun has gone down, which will be helpful keeping this Panzer IV-H alive. They do spot the 251/1, should be able to take that out. Yeah, immediately does so. And Charlemagne has managed to rout a lot of the infantry in this central area. In the southern side, infantry has crossed the river for Theoman, but they are kind of cut off here with the movement of this 251/1. We have the SAS scouts as well, but none of them have AT equipment on. We do have the FFI rallies and the Jedburgh further back. And Charlemagne does proceed to cut off that infantry, so nice work with that 251/1. Brings it back to a 0-0. Oh, the 251/1 does need to be careful though, because there is the FFI rallies here. Oh, and a Kubel coming in with a pack gun, which is moving up in that area. I think it's to try and take out the Stug 3 F8 there. Charlemagne seems to be kind of throughout this game has spread his units out across the front. And he hasn't really concentrated any of his units on one particular spot. Which I think is why he's kind of struggled to penetrate an area. Because he hasn't concentrated his forces on one point alone. He's really struggled to push through Theoman's defense. I think at the moment, actually, the central area looks like his best bet to push forwards here. But obviously we have the advantage of being able to see all of the units. The Panzergrenz do push out into the open. Oof! The SAS scouts are discovered right in front of this Stug F8. That will probably have scared the life out of Charlemagne. Luckily, no anti-tank units on these SAS scouts. The Pak 38 is moving forwards now. Slowly. Will eventually... I think he wants to take out the 251/1 and then he's going to concentrate on the F8. But the Panzergrenz do discover the Pak 38. This could be a major loss for Theoman222, especially if they get pinned down. This half track might be able to come out into the open. The Pak 38 does try and get out of line of sight and does so just in time. Oh, we've got an off map coming up north. The Jeep FAO doesn't tell me the size of that off map, but if I remember right, it's a pretty big one. Let's watch this one come in. Yeah. Pretty big off map. Just as Charlemagne looks to have been pushing through in this northern side as well. I mean, kind of perfect timing for Theoman. The Panzer IV-H does manage to get through. In we have the Focke-Wulf 190, the heaviest bomber that Charlemagne has access to, and wow, look, he almost pushed through there. He almost pushed through. Focke-Wulf takes on the Tempest, and it looks like the Tempest is going to chase that Focke-Wulf bomber down. It's going to allow the Focke-Wulf 190A8 to get on the back of that Tempest, and surely that Tempest is going to go down here. Yes, it does. Big misplay from Theoman. Big misplay from Theoman. But this off map could be devastating. In comes a rocket attack into the central position, hits the Pioneers. There is not quite enough AA down here. We do have a Sherman down into the southern side that's really going to help out this pack gun, and that half track is bound to go down back up to the northern side. The off map about to hit just as Theoman's moving through his troops. Oh my days. Oh, down goes a half track, down goes the infantry, down goes two more half tracks and the Stern Pioneer. Devastating off map just at exactly the wrong time for Theoman. He had a pretty decent force up here in the northern side. There was only the M4A3 coming up for him to really worry about, but yeah, really bad, unfortunate look for Charlemagne. But can you call it luck, or can you call it fantastic timing on Theoman222's part? I guess Theoman's going to be really happy with those off maps. He won't realise exactly how much he's decimated up in that northern side, but he has done an absolutely fantastic job. Oh, look at the SAS group. They're recovering the front line here. Wow, I think it's the movement of this 234/1 somehow is allowing that SAS group to recover a tiny portion of front line. Down goes the Panzergrenz. It's going to reconnect the front line here, and Theoman is he going to get that +1 back? I don't think he is quite going to get that +1 back, but he will be pretty happy with that amount of territory gain there. The Sherman and the Pat gun are in a reasonable position to take on that Stug. Theoman is now moving it forwards. I think that's what he's hoping for. Yep, the Pat gun does move out. Oh, down goes the Sherman. Big kill from the Stug 3, and Charlemagne, I think, does move that back. The SBW engages the SAS scout, but is it going to get hit? No. Charlemagne again moving that back out of line of sight of that Pack 38. In comes more infantry, and actually he could do a good job here. We are into C phase, and Theoman has the advantage. He's up on points. He also has the income advantage, and on this northern side he has managed to deal with a lot of units thanks to those off-map strikes. The Panzergrenz are pinned down. They're going to have to fall back. There's no doubt about that. Theoman is going to push over the river. It's just whether he can get through this Stug 3 F8 that's coming up to re-support that northern position. Down in the south, down goes the SPW. The Stug 3 is moving forward, but that Pack 38 is still there. This is a very tight situation. I'm trying to keep my eye on both the north and the south at the same time. The Pioneers do finally found the SAS group, but they are being picked off here. I think Charlemagne again, I think he's using a move order. He needed to use an attack move because that Pioneer would have stopped and used its HE grenade. Now it does stop. The grenade has been thrown, and those SAS do get defeated. Down goes the SAS scouts, finally. Oh, the Pack 38 has moved up into position. Oh, that was so close. It was an engine destroyed, though. Should still have the side shot. Yes, he did pick up the side shot there, which got the engine destroyed. And down goes that Stug 3. The Pioneers and the Panzergrenz Führer, I think they're going to go down to the SAS scouts. And this southern side is looking rather open right now to Theoman. He's rushing through in the centre. The Marder did go down there. I think it was to the M4 gun back here. And here is that Jagdpanzer. We had to wait all the way until C phase for that Jagdpanzer to come through. But it is a particular threat here. The northern side, Charlemagne has managed to deal with all the forces up here. He needs to make a push up north, because Theoman looks like he's going to break through in the south. Charlemagne can definitely make a big push here. He really needs to push forward with all his might right now. In comes the Thunderbolt. It's going to strike down onto the infantry unit. Does get rid of it. I think he had spotted that from the armoured rifles, but I don't think Charlemagne was aware that those armoured rifles are in that position. I think Charlemagne a little slow to take advantage of that breakthrough on the northern side. But in the southern side as well, I mean, there is still opportunity. Down goes the Jedburgh in there. There is 1 man in the FFI rallies and 4 men in the Pack 38. Charlemagne has a chance to break through on both the north and the south, but in the centre, it looks like Theoman is strong with the Jagdpanzer and the M4A3. This is a big opportunity for both players right now. Who is going to win this one out? I think Theoman has to use these bazookas effectively. he had them on hold fire there, but they could have fired as the Stug 3 made their way over the river. So big loss, I think, having those armoured rifles on hold fire. The Stug 3 does move itself up. It's going to be Stug versus M4A3. I don't think the Stug 3 realised. The M4 did manage to kill off the half-track. The Stug 3, I think Charlemagne is now aware of that, does pull that back, so it should face frontal armour. This is a massive engagement up on that northern side. Stug versus M4. Who's going to win it? But in the southern side, Charlemagne has defeated the units down there. He has himself a +1. Will gain victory in 10 minutes time if he can hold on to this. But reinforcements, I'm sure, yes, they are on their way into the southern side. Wow, this is an intense game right now. This is a tight game. 10 minutes left on the clock. Who is going to win this one? In comes the Focke-Wulf 190 with the 500kg bomb. Oh, does drop right onto those two tanks, but just cannot penetrate. And Charlemagne is pretty open in the centre. It's just up to Theoman to grab his opportunity. But the same could be said in the south and the north right now. Very tight game. Very tight game. I think Theoman, if he can push through the centre, I think he can win this out. We need to see a pack gun come into this central area to take down this Jagdpanzer and the M4. I think if that happens, Charlemagne will be in a decent position. Oh, the Pioneers are cut off. There's nowhere for them to go. There's an M4 in front of them and there's the SAS behind. I don't think they're going to escape with their lives intact. No, they do not. But they do take out the SAS in reply. Up in the northern side, Stug is going to engage the half-track internal fragments. Theoman is going to push forwards with the M4. No. Oh, the armoured rifles have been taken off of hold fire now, and they are in a position where they can engage with that bazooka. I think, although line of sight hasn't helped them out there. Oof, will they be able to get the kill here? Yes, they do get the bazooka off. They don't manage to get the kill on the first shot. Do get a second shot, do get the critical ammo explosion though. That SDK I said 251/2 needs to start shelling that area ASAP. The Jagdpanzer in the centre has managed to move up. The southern side has been cleared up as well. Theoman's done a good job of clearing those two areas up, and the north as well. +1 for Theoman right now. He's on 52% of territory. Will win the game in 7 minutes time. The Jagdpanzer turns the corner. Is going to fire on the 251/17. The Panzer IV-H comes into view. Bounce. Ooh, the bombs do come down just in time onto that Jagdpanzer to help the Panzer IV-H out. But will this M4 get into position in time? There is a trade-off now between the Panzer IV and the M4. I think the Panzer IV-H is in a better position right now. Bounce from that M4. Oh, the Spar... that Jagdpanzer's just moved back so close to that Spar Troop. Oh, in comes the P-47. But the M4 did go down there. And that is a big hit. Tiger E into that centre ground. The Tiger E can definitely take on this Jagdpanzer. This is the big threat, the big heavy tank of the 9th Panzer. A 2-star Tiger, currently upvetted by the BAF Panzer IV to 3 stars. And immediately going to engage that Jagdpanzer. And immediately going to get the kill. Wow. One shot, one kill. But on the southern side, the Panzergrenadier are discovered. They are taken out. The entire southern flank right now is being held by an SDKZ 251/17. Charlemagne realises that. He's pulling them back, but I don't think he's going to get it away in time. The BAF Panzer IV-H does come into the centre ground. Oh, up in the northern side, the Flandpanzer goes down to the M4. I think the Stug 3, we missed that engagement, and Charlemagne there throws in the surrender before the end of the game, but I think that was probably the right decision. I think the Tiger in the centre had definitely held that central flank, but the southern side and the northern side were collapsing for Charlemagne, and over time I think Theoman was just able to hold off for long enough in phase A and trade well enough for him to pick up the victory. Congratulations to Theoman, does win on Odon River, 34 minutes 30 seconds. Commiserations to Charlemagne. I did really enjoy that matchup though, and actually Charlemagne outtrades Theoman222 there. I think it was just unfortunate that towards the last 10 minutes of the game, Charlemagne, I think, realised he wasn't going to be able to make up any more ground and threw in the surrender before seeing the game out. But very close, very tight game. Congratulations to Theoman, commiserations to Charlemagne. I did enjoy watching that match, and yeah, great match between the two players. Great match. Very close match as well, I feel like. I do feel like that was a very close match. There were a couple of moments where Charlemagne had opportunities to advance on the north and the south, and there were moments where Theoman had, you know, chances to advance, but both players played fantastically well there. Let's have a look at the kills for Theoman222. The Panhard did pick up a Panzer 2C kill. That was a nice job early on. The Pak 38 did a great job. I think that's up in this northern side. And yeah, I think that really saved Theoman at one point in the northern side, because I think Charlemagne was about to break through. But, you know, the loss of two Panzer 1s, a Panzer 4, and the Flak 36, it all really hurts Charlemagne at that point. And I think that allowed Theoman to stay in the game up on that northern side. The off-map here, I think that was another big turning point as well, up on the northern side once again. I mean, in terms of kills, you know, Stern Pioneer, 3 half-tracks, and a Pioneer. Not the most amount of kills, but it just absolutely destroyed Charlemagne's momentum. He was over the bridge at the point that first off-map strike came down, and it just absolutely decimated his ability to push forwards on that northern flank. So just phenomenal timing by Theoman with that off-map. The Pak 38 down on the southern side, I think this is the southern one, did take out the Stug 3. And the Jagdpanzer 4 took out a number of half-tracks. Let's have a look at the kills for Charlemagne. The Panzer 2 Lux early on, I think that was lost to one of the FFI partisans, but that did a great job killing some of the lighter vehicles. The Marder 3M did a really good job as well, taking out the Char B1, the Pak 38 and the FFI H35. Nice job from that Marder 3. We often overlook these Marder 3s. I suppose in Normandy, the advantage they have is that they can engage at the 1,200 meter range, whereas a lot of tanks, early tanks, can only engage at the 1,000 meter range. But in Steel Division 2, the Marders, I think, are often overlooked. In Normandy, they can still be a great threat. The Panzer 1C did some great work as well. The Focke-Wulf 190A8 did shoot down 2 Spitfires. Nice job there from that Focke-Wulf. The Stug 3 here did take out the FFI Panzer 4H and the M4, so nice work from that Stug. Another Focke-Wulf taking down the Tempest and the Thunderbolt. And another Stug 3 taking down another M4 and a load of half-tracks. So yeah, Charlemagne traded really well. I just think... Oh, there's the final kill, the Tiger E on the Jagdpanzer. Like I was saying, Charlemagne traded really well. I just think he didn't seize the opportunity that was in front of him on that north and southern side to really, you know, make quick gains of territory. And he definitely outtraded Theoman. I think Theoman would have won it in the end. I think Charlemagne threw the surrender at the point where he was about to be defeated. But he certainly played very well. So there we have it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that game. I certainly did, and I think you can tell that from the coverage. But yeah, congratulations to Theoman. Deservedly wins the game, but commiserations to Charlemagne. Really gave Theoman a run for his money there. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I will try to cover one Steel Division Normandy game a week, although, you know, it is always tough to get the number of games out that I am at the moment. I do have a full-time job, so I'm doing all of this in my spare time, and so yeah, I am doing my best to get as many videos out as I possibly can. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Please throw me a like. Please also subscribe if you haven't done so. Also check out the link in my description to my Twitter, Twitch, Discord, Patreon pages. Any support you could provide via Patreon and Twitch, you know, all of that support is currently going to upgrading my hardware. I'm saving it all up. I'm going to be getting a brand new PC, hopefully sort of Christmas time this year. So it's still a long way off. But I am just trying to save up all the money that I possibly can so that I can improve my hardware and give you kind of a better cast. That's the aim. That's what I'm aiming for. So yeah, any support you could provide would be really helpful. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I am Angry Bird. I will see you next time.